Shalom, Apostle talking back at the truth, giving all praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Kakadash, Rakah Kodash, Kodash, not Kadash, Kodash, Rakah Kodash. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, Amos chapter 5 is in full effect. And I'm going to go down into the chapter. I may jump around, start from the first verse, and jump around, see what I can find. The key point is around, really we start from the 18th verse and go down to 20, like around the 20th verse. Anyway, this is a video that was put up by Rethink the Dollar, Mike. This was put up 19 hours ago, as you can see. It says super dilemma, Russian energy for yuan, talk of China's sanctions and launch of BRICS network. BRICS, we're going to get into BRICS if you don't know what BRICS stand for. So the Russians are not worrying about the sanctions that has been placed upon Russia by Joe Biden of America. Anyway, you know what I want to do? Let me go and pull up a I'll go right here. Okay, let me go to the blue letter. Let me go to Amos 5. Amos is a powerful book, a lot of information, a lot of prophecies in the book. Okay, when you start from the first verse, it speaks about the downfall of Israel. Now this when you come down to, so a scholar says, well, no, that's not talking about Edomite. That doesn't apply to the Edomites. Yes, it does apply to the Edomites, because everything that we went through as far as being punished by the Most High, you're going to go through the same thing. So now all these scriptures that applied to Israel at one time now applies to you. That's in Lamentation. Okay. Let's go to Revelation 5:18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. That, when you start from the first verse, is talking about Israel being punished. Even if you go to Amos, the 3rd chapter, the first verse, it says the reason why Israel was punished is because, matter of fact, let me go to that. I'm sorry. Let me go to that. Amos 3 verse 1, hear this word that the Lord Yahweh have spoken against you, O children of Israel. The word children right there is sons, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, so it's talking about both the northern and the southern kingdom. It says, let me read again, hear this word that the Lord Yahweh has spoken against you, O sons of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. It says, can two walk together except they be agreed? Now, when you jump to the 7th verse, it says, surely the Lord will do nothing, Yahweh, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants and prophets. So we know all the secrets. Look up the word secret. Sawad, council, council, assembly, council of family, familiar council, divine, a divine circle. I guess it should be divine, divine circle of family, friends, assembly, company, council, council, secret council, familiar, converse, intimacy with the Most High. Intimacy, the word, when you break the word intimacy, it means to be in love with. You know, you have a secret is when you only share it with one, maybe two, maybe three people. You don't share it to everybody. If you say I got a secret and you go on YouTube and you say this is the secret, it's no longer a secret because you gave it to too many people. A secret is privy to either one person or a couple of people. So let's come back. So part of the secret is the Most High's name, right? So we should know that the name of the Most High is Yahweh and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. So now let's come back to the 5th chapter. That's why ultimately Amos prophesies about the house of David being brought back together. And that these other nations and these land, we're going to take their land. We're going to take Esau's land, and he's not going to need any land because he's going to be scattered among the Israelites, being a slave. So Amos 5 verse 1, hear ye this word which I take against you, even a lamentation, O house of Israel, which now applies to Esau. Deuteronomy 30, verse 7. And the Lord Yahweh, thy power, will put all these curses upon thine enemies, starting with Esau, and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. And thou, you the Israelites, shall return and obey the voice of Yahweh, because he's going to program you to do the right thing and do all his commandments. Why? Because of the new covenant. The new covenant, he's going to take the laws that was given to Moses and program it inside of you. He's going to write it in your heart, which I commanded thee this day. And the Lord, 9th verse, and the Lord thy power will make thee plenteous in every work of thine hand. Is that happening now? No. That's talking about in the kingdom. Everything that we do is going to prosper. And the fruit of thy body, and then you ain't going to have no, check this out, you ain't going to have no deformed children, man. There's not going to be no C-sections in the kingdom. You're not going to be going to no doctor's office or no medical center. And then the fruit of thy cattle, and then the fruit of thy land for good, for the Lord Yahweh will again rejoice over thee for good, as he rejoiced over thy fathers. And that's the kingdom. And this, a part of our rulership is the fact that we're going to have slaves. And that's what Esau doesn't like. So let me come back over here. Amos 5. It says the day of the Lord, excuse me. Okay, darkness and not light. This applied to us. Everything we put our hands to do under the curses, it didn't work because we were under a curse. So now Esau is under a curse. It says, 18th verse, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is Yahweh, is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him. So who is that bear? Russia. Russia's symbol is the bear. And a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. What is a serpent? The serpent is also known as a dragon. Let's look up the word serpent. The word is nakash. Serpent, snake, serpent, image of serpent, serpent. Let me try some. Isaiah 27 verse 1. And that day, and that in that day, Yahweh with his sword and great and strong sword shall punish Leviathan. Now, Leviathan in the book of Job 40 is talking about an actual sea monster, a dragon, that piercing serpent, which is a serpent, snake, evil Leviathan, that crooked serpent, and he shall slay the dragon. Same thing. He's not known as a dragon and a serpent. Dragon that is in the sea. So serpent is also, a dragon is also known as a serpent. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Let me look up the word dragon. Dragon. The word is Sanayan. Dragon, serpent. A serpent is a snake, so a dragon is a serpent. Sea monster, dragon, or dinosaur. Sea or river monster, serpent, venomous snake. Venomous snake. So the word dragon is interchangeable with the word serpent. Got it right here. Dragon, serpent. Give you one more precept. Revelation 20. Revelation 21, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a chain, and a great chain in his hand, and he laid hold on the what? The dragon. What time period is this talking about? This is talking about when Jake started ruling, and it really came into play when Constantine I sat on the throne in 325 Anno Domini, year of our Lord. And when we started going down in the mid to late 1300s, going into the 1400s. which was a 1,000-year reign. It said, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. So that dragon, that serpent, that devil, that Satan is not talking about the spiritual demon Satan. It's talking about the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. That's why we call the so-called white man the devil, which are also, they're also known as Edomites. So, and the ones of you that been in this thing for a number of years, you already know it. That's why I'm talking fast. So now that you understand, this Leviathan is not talking about the Leviathan sea monster. This is talking about Esau. Or another precept to show you that this is talking about Esau and not talking about the devil. It's not talking about the Antichrist. Revelation 12, verse 3, the red dragon. Why was the dragon red? Esau. Esau first came out red all over like a hairy garment and called his name Esau. And because of the pottage, it was also known as Edom, which means red. It says, and there appeared another one in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns. This is talking about the Roman Empire and 7 crowns upon his head. So there was you had the first beast, and then you had the revived beast, and found in Revelation 13, the first couple of verses. And see, people can't see it because your spiritual eyes are not open to see it. And there's a reason why the Most High put these scriptures together in this poetic fashion, so that some could get it. Some have that magic eye, that spiritual eye, that eye salve. Scriptures speak about eye salve. And I shall anoint thee with eye salve, that thou mayest see. So we see this crystal clear. Just trying to get back. Okay, Amos 5. So this is what, now the lion represents us, it represents Judah, it represents Israel, but it also represents the Arab nations. If you notice, where are the Arab terrorists at? Where the terrorist attack? There's none, because it was orchestrated by Esau, man. You know, he set up them attacks. You know, when was the last time you heard a Arab terrorist attack? Especially during the time of this Crown Vic, which now is making a comeback. When the war came, all of a sudden it disappeared from the news, and all of a sudden it come back, and now it's hitting all these politicians, including the mayor of New York City, that tyrant Eric Adams. He's just an insider. As a matter of fact, let me get some information on him. Eric Adams. Eric Adams. Okay, this is recently in the news. And he's part of the dragon, even though he's a Jake. You have Jakes in certain political positions that other Jakes say, oh yeah, we got a black man, we got a black this. But then you got to find out where does he get his marching orders from? Being a mayor is nothing but a management position, man. It's like working at McDonald's, you're the manager. I can go override, I can get in contact with the corporate office over the manager. So he's nothing but a city manager. and he received this a script. All right, let me do this. Let me get into this. Get into a little bit of news. New York City Mayor Eric Adams isolated at Gracie Mansion as he battles the Crown Vic. Now, if you notice, this was what, 2 weeks ago. The Crown Vic came back in the news, and the first prominent person to get it was Obama. Saddam Hussein, what was his name? Barack Hussein Obama. He was the first one to get it. And then it went to, I believe, Pelosi. So it's going to all these politicians. So we know, what the deal is. They want to bring lockdowns back, but I want to get this function that they all got it from. See, Gracie Mansion, isolated Sunday. Okay, this is what it was. Let me go into this. So I'm in the news section of this video. This says Adams is the latest in a long list of attendees, more than 70 people, at last week's Gridiron Club dinner in Washington, D.C., who have tested positive for the Crown Vic. So now did you guys get an invitation to go to the Gridiron Club dinner? I didn't get one. Maybe the mailman lost it. I didn't get one. So let me go on to this. And that's where they all supposedly got it from. Let me do this. Let me see what this is all about. Okay, it says 70. I want to get into the actual. Okay, let me go here. Gridiron Club. Gridiron Club is best known for its annual dinner, which let me click on that. Let me come back. Just trying to get information together, that's all. Gathering information. Okay, let me click here. 72 people at high-profile DC dinner test positive for Crown Vic. Bear with me for a minute, please. 72 people have tested positive for Crown Vic after having attended the Gridiron dinner in DC last weekend, including members of the Biden administration reporters. Gridiron Club President Tom DeFrank said Sunday that and these people eat the best foods. They all been vaccinated, so I don't know how they got it. I'm just trying to get hundreds of people attended. New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who was also at the dinner. How many mayors attended that? Or is it just major cities? Mayors from major cities tested positive Sunday. It was the first Gridiron dinner since 2019 before the pandemic. Oh, they said they had to close it down because of the Crown Vicky. So they said, okay, everything, coast is clear, let's go back, and then they get it. So we know that don't be surprised if they lock down again. And so, wait a minute, and guests were required to show proof of vaccination, but DeFrank said, so they couldn't get into the through the doors unless they were vaccinated, right? So what the hell are they doing catching it again? Because that shit is bullshit. And so most of the spike since Saturday are not new cases, but cases belatedly reported from earlier testing, he said. And I'm just trying to get some information. I mean, you can read the rest of this, get the information yourself. Gerlin attended a news conference with FBI Director Christopher Wray before he tested positive. So all these prominent, well, maybe the Most High, maybe this thing is real from the Most High, and they're getting them. It says in Psalms 91, no plague shall come nigh thy dwelling. Anyway, I'm kind of going all over the place. Let me come back to the precepts. Verse, as Amos 5 verse 19, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear bit him, which is the Russians, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of Yahweh be darkness and not light for who? For Esau and the other nations, even very dark and no brightness in it. So now let's come back. Okay, I said I was going to go into the BRICS nation in case you didn't know. So you see this guy, you got the American flag, and you got the dollar, which is on fire. It says America. You got the crisis or the war conflict in the Ukraine. Then you got China feasting their eyes on Taiwan. They brought sanctions against Russia. And now China's working with the Russians and buying their gas, but instead of converting it, because all these nations, including Russia, China, all these major nations had to convert their money into Federal Reserve notes, US dollar bills, so you can understand. So with this guy, with his sanctions, he's causing these alliances to get closer. And that's how we know this is going to lead to the war of Armageddon. So let's look at the BRICS nations. Let me open up, let me go here. BRICS nations. And this guy, Mayor Eric Adams, he's gonna do some shit in the city. He's gonna lock it down. He's gonna declare martial law. Let me go to BRICS. BRICS. Get a little information on the acronym BRICS. All right, BRICS. BRICS is an acronym coined to associate 5 major emerging economies: Brazil, Russia, India, China. Look, China has over 1 billion people. India has over 1 billion people. They can set up a damn 10 million man army like it's nothing and sacrifice it, man. India possesses the missile. China possesses the missiles, the hypersonic missiles. Russia possesses the hypersonic missiles. You got Brazil, which is a major country, a lot of resources down there. By the way, the word Brazil is a Hebrew word barazal, which means iron. Not only do they have iron down there, but they have other oil and other commodities, let's call them. It says, and South Africa. The BRICS nations, the BRICS members are known for their significant influence on regional affairs since 2009. So this is the Most High separating the nations and bringing together alliances. It says, what is it? It's either Jeremiah 50 or Jeremiah 51. Let me go to that. Let me go to Jeremiah 50. I'm almost positive it's 50. Okay, I'm gonna look up. Okay, nations come up 5 times, right? Second verse, declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard, and that's talking about us. And conceal not. What are we not to conceal this truth? Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. It's talking about America. Her images are broken in pieces. America's not the shit no more. This is what I wanted, 9th verse. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, which is America, an assembly of great nations. So the BRIC nations, everybody knows, about those 5 nations. When you mention China, oh yeah, I know about China. China. It's not a nation that you never heard of. Brazil, everybody knows about Brazil. So these are great nations with great resources. They say either, Ukraine and part of Russia, Ukraine is the breadbasket of the world. That's what they say. Let me see if that's true. Bread basket. Well, it says, okay, it says bread basket Europe. Let's see what bread basket of the world is. What's the bread basket of the world? Okay, they're saying United States is the bread basket of the world. Let's go the bread basket of Europe. Russia and Ukraine are Europe's breadbasket. The International Food Policy Research Institute estimates that their exports represent 12% of all the food calories traded in the world. In an oikoumene sense, the war in Ukraine is threatening the breadbasket of Europe. When anything in the major nations of Europe, Russia, is a major war, it affects us over here. Anything that happens in any of the BRIC nations, it affects us over here. The fact that China has an alliance since 2009, and now that the alliance is even closer, and they're making deals, not dealing with the FRNs, that's hurting America. So these sanctions that Biden put in place is really hurting America and is hurting the average person. This place is done, man. It said of the Canaanites that the Most High was going to take them out little by little. Let me see if I can find that. Little by, let's see if that comes up. Okay, boom, it did come up. Deuteronomy 7, verse 22. And when the Most High gave the land to the sons of Israel, he told them to take the land, take it, kill them, kill the people, kill the babies, kill the women. Don't marry none of them. Don't take the women. That the law in Deuteronomy 21, verse 10 doesn't apply with the Canaanites. You were supposed to just slaughter them and take what they got. Don't wear their garments. There was a situation where, I'm not going to go all into it, it's a whole different subject of, what was his name? Achan, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he, matter of fact, I'm about to go into it in a little bit. And the Lord, 22nd verse, and the Lord Yahweh, thy power will put out those nations before thee by little and little, thou mayest not consume them at once, lest the beasts of the field increase upon thee. So the Most High didn't just take them out like that. They were taken out little by little, just like this place is being taken. This system is being taken out little by little. Now, let me see if I got that right. I hadn't read that story in a while. Go to Bible. Okay, bear with me for a minute. I want to get the quick facts. The Israelites use Clara Mansi, the sacred lots, Urim and Thummim, to decide who was to become blamed, and having, it's hard to read this, letters of light, identified Achan, stoned him. When you read the whole account, he had taken some gold and he was told, they were told not to. He took a Babylonian garment, and then they started losing the war. So, Joshua went to the Lord, as why is this going on? He said, and he explained to him, there's a guy that didn't follow the blue book, the blueprint. It says, as well as his sheep, other livestock, and his children to death. Their remains were burnt by the Israelites according to the text, and stone piled on top. So for what this guy did, for taking his Babylonian garment and some gold and some precious things, gold and silver, whatever the case may be, I'm not going to go into the story, that's a whole nother topic. They cast a lot. Well, it said they used the Urim and the Thummim, right? It said the sacred lots, Urim and Thummim, and it fell on him, and he confessed to it, and they put him to death. They killed his animals, and they killed his family. And that's the seriousness of the Most High. So where am I? Okay, so that's what I wanted. I wanted little by little. But ultimately, with this system going down little by little, ultimately, the Most High is going to come as a thief in the night, as the scriptures say. Peter said it. The day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, and in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with the elements shall melt from the heat of it. I'm paraphrasing, got a mind block. And then he goes on to say, you knowing that all these things are going to come to pass, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation? In other words, you're supposed to be constantly talking about this, because Jake forgets. Jake has a short attention span. So you got to constantly hit him with the prophecies. You got to constantly hit him with the prophecies. And when they keep hearing it, and then they start seeing it, like, for example, the MOTB, when Bishop Nate is going, because he has a track record of not teaching something right, even though the men of the Lord keep telling them to teach it right. Eventually he sees the light. So guess what? He gonna see the light when the MOTB is actually right in your face. Down your block might be a damn chipping station. That's when they'll teach it. If the Most High don't strike them with illness again. And then what are you going to do, Deacon Deacon Frost, Deacon Athun, are you gonna say, I always knew it? Well, you're gonna make yourself look bad, man. You ain't looking too good right now. Okay, let me read this again. A verse, remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans and be as the he-goats before the flocks. We're going back into the wilderness. For we believe is South America. For lo, I will raise and cause to come against Babylon, America, an assembly of nations. Just to name 5, Brazil, Russia, India, China. I said Russia. What was it? South Africa. An assembly of great nations from the north countries. So they're coming from the north. The uttermost north is Russia. And they shall set themselves in array against her, Babylon. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows, which are the ICBMs and the hypersonic missiles, shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. So all those missiles are going to do the damage. So, you know, we're in that time. We're in the time of Armageddon. You wonder when Armageddon gonna come? We're in the time of Armageddon. Let's get that real quick and then I'm gonna close it. '12th verse, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the waters thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. The kings of the east are the Arab nations. And that goes hand in hand with Isaiah 14, 9th verse on down, Armageddon. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like forks come out of the mouth of the dragon, out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. False prophet represents the Catholic Church and all the other churches, the daughter churches that came out, Baptist and Methodist, Jehovah's Witness. They all got the same picture, Caesar Borgia. The beast, we know what the beast is, we know what the dragon is. And they are the spirit of devils working miracles, their technology, which go forth unto, and part of their technology is what? The MOTB. Let me look up the word miracles. They're miracles, their technology, that's their miracles. Let's listen to that word. 4592. A sign, mark, token, that which by which a person or thing is distinguished from others and is known, a sign, prodigy, portent, i.e. an unusual occurrence, transcending, that's part of the mark system, transcending, right? What is it? What's the term? Transhumanism. Let's look up the word transhumanism, because that's ultimately what they want to do with the mark, which they're not going to get that far. They're going to get as far as chipping people where you got to buy and sell and stuff like that. But some of them is going to go into their brains. Let's look up the word transcendency. Be or go beyond the range or limits of something abstract, typically a conceptual field or division, which is done by miracles, right? Let me try this. Transhumanism. Let me try transhumanism. Transhumanism. Okay. Transhumanism, no death and enhanced life is the future transhumanism, transhuman, excuse me. Transhumanist and visage the day when memory, ooh! So their miracles go to transcendency, which is transhumanism, because that's what they, like I said, certain of you are just going to get the charagma in your hand and you'll be able to pay for things. It'll be like a credit card. Instead of in your wallet, it'll be in your hand. But the ones with the chip in their brain, that's when you can't walk, you'll be able to walk. You know, you want to think as quick as a computer, you can think as quick as a computer. You know, you can do things that you become extraterrestrial. And not everybody's going to get that. But their plan is to give everybody the charagma in their hand. And that's all they got to fulfill. They don't got to make everybody transhuman. All they got to do is get the charagma in you. And it says it's going to form into a cancer. It says in a neural, which deals with the nerves, pathways are actually embedded into the people's brain, thus bypassing the need to use, let me click on this. This is ultimately what they're going to do. My opinion is that they're not going to get that far. They're going to change people, a certain number of people. You know, you got human, the blue represents humans, and this represents machine. They're going to merge man and machine. That's what the brain chip part. I mean, I'm not going to go all into it. Let's see what this says. Transhumanists believe that we should augment, meaning make bigger, our bodies with new technology. So they got to implant it in you. The 21st century tech revolution is transforming human lives across the globe. And the person that can't walk, they had walked at one time, they got in an accident, they can't walk, they're going to say, they're going to fight to get to be first in line because they want to walk again. So this is what Revelation chapter 13 is all about. Anyway, I was a little all over the place, but that's all right too. There's lessons within lessons. With that, I'm gonna say shalom. So we're in the time of Daniel, the second chapter, around about the 40th verse on down, and the feet of it. We're in that time. We're in the time of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9, where the Lord is getting ready to come. We're in that time. We're in the time of these prophetic prophecies coming to pass right before your eyes. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom.